still fishing, but
You're still fishing. Hi guys. Yeah, we're just shit posting. You guys can't watch. Hi. Hi. We were literally having a
no.
discussion like, what if Strahd was a character on like an episode of What We Do in the Shadows, and he was just giving you tours of his castle. This is my crib. This is where I take all the prisoners.
Here's my fridge filled with nothing but Gatorade.
You need electrolytes. People think vampires don't need electrolytes, but let me tell you, oh boy, it gets sweaty having to chase down all my victims all the time. It's just a lot of work. Do vampires sweat? That's a question that I have not answered. You think?
I think it depends on the lore.
I
How
am just so
organic his
sweaty.
body
He's
still
like
is.
patting himself off.
How
You haven't watched
fleshy
in
his
ages.
body probably still is what determines it.
You're so behind where we are, and so is everybody else because we have not streamed this in like 2 months or something like that. Some insane amount of time. So nobody has any idea what's going on, not even us. So I'm gonna have to go on an extra special recap today and give you guys kind of the lowdown of where everything is, what's going on, what the hell is happening up in here. So, Curse of Strahd. We'll start from the very beginning. We have so originally 5 characters or 4 characters. I think it was the 4 of you. Take on a mission to go hunt some wolves on the edge of a forest. Going into the forest, you meet on your way to the forest, or before you go into the forest, you recruited a guide. Sorry, I have to my brain has to catch up with exactly what happened we started so long ago. You recruited a guide to go into the forest. The guide led you there. Unfortunately, it turned out to be not what you guys were expecting, and you were led into a misty fog where werewolves began to chase you down. You hurried off into the fog and somehow ended up in a strange land that you were pretty sure was not on the map before. Your group encountered, after walking down the road a little bit, encountered a strange house. Went inside the mansion. Turns out it was full of a lot of bad. It was a bad mansion. Full of lots of dead people. Two ghosts of some small children, Rose and Thorn, where you went down into the basement, found the sort of kind of aftermath of some kind of cult presence of some sort in the bottom of this house, and eventually put Rose and Thorn's bodies to rest, left the house, met a strange man, garbed in white, who spoke in kind of like riddles. You miss playing D&D now that you have time again? Oh, yes. Yeah, we'll have to maybe yeah, if you want to join back in, Arya, we could always do that. That would always be fine. You met the man dressed in white who kind of spoke in riddles and talked about Strahd a little bit. Strahd being the lord of the place you are now in, Barovia. You went to a town that you saw, the town of Barovia, inside of the domain of Barovia. Not confusing at all. Where you met the daughter of the burgomaster who had just died, which is the mayor of the town, Irina Kolyana, and her brother, Ismark. After helping them go to bury their dad at the church and encountering a vampire spawn who promptly attacked you in the basement of the church, and it murdered one of your party members. Rest in peace, Arya's character. You sad. Yeah. The Burgermeister. Yeah, the master of burgers. Some might call him the Burger King. Your party member got murdered. Rest in peace, Vivian. And then you proceeded to go west.
Her name wasn't Vivian.
Was it not Vivian? For some reason in my brain it was Vivian. What was her name? Oh my gosh, my brain turned off. Aria, what was your character's name? I forget it.
Lily.
Lillian. Was it Lillian?
Lily.
It was just...
I'm very happy about the fact that everything in this place is just called Barovia, because otherwise Waffles would forget the
My
names.
brain would explode, yeah, from just having to memorize too many names. It was just... It happened so long ago, my brain... And I don't have my notes up, right? I should probably pull up my notes. That would probably help, right? Yeah. Hold on, let me actually pull up my notes so that I can remember things. Lilith! That was her name! I don't know why I had Vivian in my head, but it was Lilith, yes. Anyways, your group went on to try and find the city of Alaki, which is where you hoped Irina, who is being chased by the Lord of Barovia, Strahd von Zarovich, would finally find some kind of sanctuary. Possibly the church there. Along the way, you met a strange group of people, the Vistani, who, considering this area, you know, and how dour the town of Barovia was, and kind of this whole land, kind of a very, no one's really ever smiling. These people were happy and jovial and partying, kind of, and all drunk on wine. The Vistani. You spent the night with them and met an old lady named Madame Eva, who offered to read you your fortunes. She gave you some very interesting advice about some treasures you should seek to help you escape the land of Barovia. And some general advice, including different cards that you guys... I think you guys took the cards with you, right? You guys each have your own cards. And hopefully you guys wrote down your card readings that you got.
I did.
Okay, that's good. That's good, because they were important. The card readings were very important.
Don't worry, Waffles. I think we're all planning on 100%ing Barovia anyways, so...
We're just gonna live here now.
Sooner or later.
We're just gonna hang out.
I mean, yeah. This campaign is supposed to run for the next 15 years.
Yeah, I totally wrote it down.
Yeah, Arya, that would be cool. Yeah.
9 seasons in a movie.
I want an actual like Curse of Strahd show. Like that would be the coolest thing ever. Somebody make it. You guys proceeded on to Vallaki afterwards, discovering on your way a horse and chariot. Specifically, a fiery, flaming horse and chariot awaiting you at a crossroads, seemingly inviting you to step in. And you did so. Eventually, the chariot took you to a large, very imposing-looking castle, one that you had seen your entire trip throughout Barovia, Castle Ravenloft. Inside, you met the Lord of Barovia, Strahd von Zarovich, who made some interesting propositions for you guys. After inviting you to a nice meal and a sit-down, nice chat after playing some beautiful music on the organ, that was definitely not intimidating and very Phantom of the Opera-esque. He gave you guys kind of a proposition of sorts. He would let you move around his realm as you will, with the end goal in mind of you potentially replacing him on his throne. The throne of Ravenloft, wherein he would test you along the way, as well as make sure that no harm came to his potential, well, his very vested interest, Irina Koyana. You guys agreed and left the castle without any kind of harm and relative safety, and moved on to the city of Vallaki, where you met a lot of interesting characters. You met the burgomaster of the town of Vallaki, Burgomaster Vlakovich, who was an interesting fellow. Seemed to kind of rule with an iron fist a little bit, with his very powerful, strong-armed guard, Ezek, with the large demon arm that was very imposing, kind of had this very weird idea that anybody who, as long as you were happy and enjoyed your time in Vallaki and participated in the various festivals, Strahd could not touch you. The one thing to oppose him was a mind of happiness, for Strahd fed on the negative emotions of the people of his domain. Turns out that was not the case. You guys met one of the people opposing the burgomaster, Vargas Valakovich, Miss Fiona Wachter, kind of one of the other bigwigs in town, one of the richer people in sort of rival power to the Baron. You went over to their mansion to talk to them, and they seem entirely in love with the idea of you guys deposing the Baron somehow and fighting him in some way. Until you guys went into the basement of her house while she wasn't there and discovered, one, a room full of skeletons of former town guards that attacked you, and a large cult symbol in the middle of a room. Big old pentagram and everything, covered in blood and dead cultists of some sort. You aren't exactly sure what happened there. You left the Wachter mansion and kind of retreated back to your place of operations there so far, which had been the Blue Water Inn, run by Davian Martikov and the Martikov family, which have been kind of your almost kind of allies in this very harsh kind of place where there's not a whole lot of allies. You also met a few characters. You met Nikolai Wachter and and the Wachter brothers, who were very interesting sons of Fiona Wachter. Doesn't seem to really take after their mother very much. You also met Rictavio, a kind of bard and storyteller that was also not from Barovia. He's kind of from an outside domain. You also met Father Petrovich, in charge of the Church to the Morning Lord in Valaki, who was kind of one of the main characters you were looking for some kind of solace for Irina, some kind of way for Irina to get some sanctuary. Unfortunately, it turns out the church was not a good place for Irina to stay at the moment because the bones of St. Angela had been taken, which were the only thing keeping Strahd from invading the church at any point in time. Kind of this sacred... It's what made the church a sanctuary. Eventually, you, after suspecting Fiona Wachter, went to her house, stole the bones, brought them back, and the church was a sanctified place again. Not long after, the next festival, the Festival of the Blazing Sun, happened, where you witnessed a lot of shit go down. That was a doozy of a festival. After watching the parade procession enter into the town square, where they lit a giant sun on fire, a giant wicker ball that was pretty much just a giant fireball made to look like the sun. It didn't light at first, but thanks to Thurxora and the brave words of Botak, who kind of inspired the town a little bit and helped the festival go off. It eventually, using some imagery and some illusion, the blazing fireball went up in flames, and it was at this time that the town was beset by a giant wall of fog that was proceeded to envelop the rest of the town. And in this fog was one Strahd von Zarovich, followed by a host of vampire spawn and direwolves at his side. He entered the town, interrupted the festival, killed Baron Vargas Velakovich, and instructed his minions to pretty much sow chaos amongst the townsfolk, to feast as they will, and chaos ensued afterwards. Your group fought Strahd's minions, and briefly Strahd himself, though he proved to be too much in the end, and you were forced to leave and flee from the situation. You took sanctuary in the one place that you knew you could, the church, where Strahd couldn't enter, or his minions, which seemed to kind of be a place where all the refugees of the town were kind of gathering. You stayed there for a while. Strahd popped by and decided to give you guys a nice threat while he couldn't enter the church, and then he left, taking his minions with him and kind of just leaving the town in the chaos behind him. Your group, a little bit despondent after the events, kind of gave Irina a little bit of a pep talk, who decided to continue to follow you guys. And you guys helped out some of the refugees at the church. After this, you decided to go over to the burgomaster's mansion, where you thought you might find some information. You had seen some kind of strange magical activity in the attic before, and you thought you would go investigate the burgomaster's mansion a little bit more to see if you can find some kind of answers as to what's going on. You found a strange book in Fiona Walker's basement about some kind of past events. You discovered during the fight with Strahd that ravens had protected you in a way, kind of attacked Strahd and let you escape. So trying to find answers to these questions, you decided to do a little bit more investigating. And that leads us to where we are now. Was that enough of a recap? That was a lot. I know it was a lot of recap, guys.
Wait,
I hope I covered everything.
Particular. Could you repeat that? Sorry,
Okay, going over it again. So you started off in a town.
I'm kidding.
And that kind of leads you to where you are now. Because Chachi is no longer able to join, we're going to say Botak stayed behind at the church to help the refugees and kind of give them some more healing, since he's the only person who can really do kind of healing and stuff like that in the party. So he decided to stay behind at the church, and you guys are now at the burgomaster's mansion.
I can do a little bit of healing.
Okay, oh yes, that's true. That's you. You can do a little bit of healing, but you decided your abilities were best used to make sure that your party didn't die on their way throughout the town, which you kind of like saw the aftermath of dead people in the streets and the chaos that had ensued from Strahd's attack. So you're still a little wary about there still being Strahd's minions left inside the town. All right, I think that brings us to where we are. You guys are in front of the burgomaster's mansion. A little bit of fog still swirls at your heels. It hasn't completely left the town. You're capable of seeing all the buildings and things like that, but there's still faint traces of light fog everywhere. As it seems Strahd's presence hasn't fully diminished here. The mansion is large, still kind of sagging in on itself, very old, opulent, and very quiet. One of the doors just kind of sits ajar, open, creaking ever so slightly in the wind. What do you guys do?
Approach the front door.
Okay, you get closer to the front door. You kind of listen Are you listening for anything, or what are you doing as you approach the door?
I mean, realistically speaking, we know the bodyguard of the burgomaster is laying around dead somewhere around here if they didn't move his corpse. The
You did.
burgomaster is dead. The burgomaster's wife fucked off and flew into a building.
Yes.
And we have the keys for the house.
You do have the keys. It doesn't look like it's going to be necessary as the door is open. But you do not
Well-
see. Actually, make a perception check. If you are you looking for the body?
Yeah.
I thought we helped move it.
All right.
Yeah.
We helped move it.
Oh, that's
I'm
right.
stupid, I forgot that.
That's right. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. We're definitely there's going to be some inconsistencies because like like I said, the last session happened like 2 months ago. So, yes, that's right. You guys did help move the body. So there is no body there.
Okay, there is nobody.
I'm not on the board anyway. Am I in the bush? Yes, I'm
You're
in the bush.
You made your Did you make the bush? Who made the bush?
I don't remember anymore.
There was
Been
just a
months.
bush
I've been
there.
in this bush for months.
It's Guinevere's bush. Guinevere ripped it out outside of the inn when the Wagner boys became a
Yes.
little weird with her and has been carrying it around since.
Yes.
Let's have a look inside. I still want to see what the weird light in the attic was.
Okay. Are you approaching the door then and opening it?
Yes.
Okay, you open the door and kind of peer inside of the burgomaster's mansion. It seems relatively untouched. You see the... Actually, let me see if I can show you guys, because I think the interior is still kind of blocked for you guys. Let me just...
Yeah.
Boop-a-doop. Let me just reveal all up in here what you guys see.
Oh.
Just bring up the mansion again really quick. Hold on. I just have to bring up the mansion. My notes got misplaced here real fast. The Burgomaster's Mansion. There we go. Okay, so you open up the door to this large, kind of a big foyer area. You see these large framed portraits of several members of the, what you assume, the Volakovich family, are just kind of large and staring at everybody who opens up this door. It's just an entire set piece almost made for the Volakovich family. As you open up and you look inside, you see it's relatively untouched. You do see strange piles of twigs everywhere, kind of torn apart, some of them still bundled up. You assume that these twigs were for the large wicker sun that was being made for the festival. It kind of looks like the same kind of tree branches that were throughout this wicker sun. Other than that, though, seems relatively untouched. Not a whole lot of chaos went on inside the manor, it looks like, from what you can see here.
Let's touch everything.
Well,
You guys go in and touch everything.
I want to check out the lights on the in the attic finally. So
Okay, I'll come with you.
Okay. You do see the large staircase that leads up to the second floor that you had seen earlier. Let's go up there.
Crowley's gonna follow.
Okay. Are you guys being
I would say we probably are being fairly quiet just in case.
okay, roll stealth checks.
oh boy.
quick.
the
Let's
book.
just pick up Gwen.
5.
Irina is also with you,
Oh.
so she's got to roll 1 too.
16.
3.
Uh-oh. What did you get? Thurxora?
5.
Uh-oh. Well, let's see. It won't let me pick up Irina, so give me a second. Irina's immune to my grabbage. I can't, no.
Don't touch her.
I can't touch Irina. There we go. Okay. Let me... I should probably actually have my dice. Give me a second.
Waffles
Wait,
prepared
how did
as
the bush
always.
get here? How did the bush get here?
Probably important that I have dice.
How did the bush
Thank you
get
for
here?
redeeming all that Chandler, by the way. I'll do nom nom and hydrate and stretchies in a second. After we figure out if they fail their stealth check and alert everybody.
Shit.
She got a 1.
Irina sucks.
We all suck.
I rolled a
Yes, but she seems to just like. And I'm gonna assume like her stats probably aren't bad. It's just
They're
for
not.
whatever goddamn
She
reason,
just
she
keeps-
just sucks.
I just keep rolling for crap for Irina every time. I'm sorry.
You're not.
You guys are sort of climbing up these stairs, trying to be stealthy along the way. Kind of using the railing on the side to keep yourself a little bit, keep your steps quieter. Maybe raise yourself a little bit, using it as a guide. Irina's following behind you, and suddenly you hear as you see Irina kind of fall over for a second, and you all
Slips on
turn
my
around.
bagpipe.
You all turn around to see her holding the railing in her hand, which had cracked off while she was climbing up the stairs. Sorry. She kind of just looks sheepishly at you guys and very slowly and quietly sets down the railing.
And it just
Damn.
rolls down the stairs.
Yeah, it kind of just like slides a little bit. Sorry.
I think we were all.
Thurxora just continues walking up the stairs normally.
You guys continue up the stairs as quietly as you can and make your way into the second floor of the building, which is just covered in more paintings of pictures of Valakovich family members, random landscapes, all sorts of... There's one of the Castle Ravenloft. Just all sorts of pictures kind of just watching you, and this whole entire... It seems like they're trying too hard with these paintings, which are just everywhere, just adorning this entire house. Hold on, let me bring Irene over there. There we go. Okay. Where are you guys gonna try and make your way to?
Thurxora is gonna make her way straight to the bedroom.
The
Because-
Burgomaster's bedroom?
And this one because
Okay.
she remembers that there was a door there from the last time when she was in there and spooked the Burgomaster and his wife.
Do we hear the pupper?
You don't hear any actually make a perception check.
Okay. 24.
24. As you go through this hallway and try and listen for any sort of sounds of activity, you don't hear any sounds of the dog or anything like that, excuse me. But you do hear, ever so faintly, the sounds of creaking as it seems somebody is stepping across the ceiling above you. And then it stops.
Like zoinks.
Like Scoob. I think there's a ghost in here.
Yeah.
What? I. Does that make Scooby attracted to ghosts, or what? You know what? Actually, I'm not gonna ask. I'm not. No questions. Why did the slide whistle happen? I'm so confused.
Why not?
Fair enough. Okay, what do you guys do? Hi, Simic. I've got to hydrate really quick and then nom nom and then stretchies. So you guys do your thing while I do that really quick.
Thixora, do you want me to go first, just in case the dog's in there?
I have a better idea. Thuxora opens this door and goes back to her friend, the good old wedding dress ghost.
The door opens fine. You enter.
Is the mannequin still in the toilet?
You go to check the privy, open it up, and you do see the mannequin upside down in the privy. Its feet dangling out like it's trying to escape.
Beautiful.
Okay, so Thuxora is going to mage hand the wedding dress close to the door, and then she's just going to carefully use the. Let me actually see. Is she still carrying that? I mean, why shouldn't she? The rapier that she has been carrying around all the time without ever using it, so she uses that to carefully push open the door from a little bit of a distance and then float the wedding dress through.
Okay. All right. What are you attempting to do with the wedding dress here?
If the doggo is in there, I hope that it comes after the wedding dress and not after us.
Okay. You float the wedding dress in there, and the rest of you, and Irina especially, like looks on and kind of gives you a questioning glance for a moment as the wedding dress kind of flows into the burgomaster's bedroom. You hover it there for a second, kind of, shake it around a little bit and make it a little bit active to try and distract any potential guards that might be in there. But nothing seems to happen. You kind of shake it around a little bit more. Nothing.
Okay, now she's basically going to make the dress turn around and fly directly towards Guinevere.
You see a random floating dress coming after you, Guinevere.
Duck and roll. Backwards.
This large dragonborn woman just crouches down, ducks, and rolls backwards down the hallway.
Dark Souls boss.
Do I need to do an acrobatics
Dark
check
Souls
for that?
dodge. Yeah, do an acrobatics check.
Two.
So she's good.
You
Broke my net, didn't I?
Yeah. Thuxora, you
Like,
watch as you
moving the
bring this
bush.
dress over towards this dragonborn woman, and Thuxora, Guinevere, surprised by the situation, tries to do a little duck and roll, but what ends up happening is that she kind of, like, kind of does like a 3/4 front flip, and instead of rolling, just lands on her back and her ass, and kind of just you just hear this loud.
Now, here's the real question. Is she entangled in the wedding dress?
Oh,
I mean, is that? Do you drive the wedding? It's up. Do you drive the wedding dress into her?
oh.
I'm tempted to, just so I can make a stupid comment later on.
She, yeah, you get covered with the wedding dress, and you just see kind of, this as she lands on her back with this loud thump, a dress kind of just covering this dragonborn woman, and you just see the white sheets kind of just struggling for a minute as she tries to get out.
Thuxora basically just leans out into the hallway, being like, Gwen, are you okay? Well, do you need some help with that dress? Because that's not how you wear it.
Why?
When Irina comes forward and tries to help like get the dress off of you.
My bush.
Yeah.
My bush is leaving me.
The sentient bush, the spirit of the bush that follows you around everywhere. Who drew that? Where did this bush come from?
The bush?
It's gotta be Schmoodle. It's just the spirit of a bush following
No,
you.
that wasn't me.
Oh, well, that's weird.
That actually wasn't me.
Oh, well, it's probably our 5th player that you guys
Yes.
don't
It's
know
the waffle
about.
cam.
Yeah, it's who knows? Like, it's probably a ghost. It's probably literally the spirit of the bush.
Yes.
His name is George W.
George W., the spirit of the bush. The bush ghost.
I'm good. I don't know why this is on me or how this happened, but we're here now. Let's continue.
You successfully
Thuxora.
managed to. Irina pulls the dress off of you and kind of holds it in her hand and looks back at you, Thuxora. What do we want to do with this? She kind of holds it out towards you.
Thuxora just makes a gesture with her hand and basically mage hands it out of Irina's hands again and moves it over through the door onto the bed.
Well, at least there is no guards here this time, I guess. That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, Thuxora points at this door. I still want to check what's behind there.
Okay. Do you approach the door and kind of do you open the door, or what are you doing? Actually, let me just describe this room really quick. Because I don't know if you got a good look at it last time. If I can find the room, hold on, give me a second. So you know how the rest of this house is extremely opulent and kind of trying too hard? Well, the burgomaster's bedroom is kind of the same deal. It looks like this was an extremely fancy bedroom at some point. You see this bed with the kind of, you know, those beds that have the drapes over them and everything. It has that, but it's a little kind of sunken, and the drapes that surround the bed are a little faded. And it kind of seems the same with all of the furniture in this room, as if It's trying to recall some of its former glory. It's polished up nicely and cleaned, but everything in here looks extremely old. You see a dresser, you see kind of this old wardrobe that's kind of a little cracked and rotted. You see, the dressing mirror that is kind of the same. Everything in here seems like it was really fancy back in the day, but has definitely lost some of its grandeur over the years.
I'm a search for treasure.
Okay. Make an investigation check as you check this bedroom out.
$11.
Chandler redeemed a slap. I keep. Why do I have that on? I don't. Just a random slap. I should have. I really need the noise alerts that makes a slap noise when somebody. I really need noise alerts for my stream. That would be so good. Why was the baby tomato crying?
Because it's a tomato, and tomatoes are disgusting.
Do you remember? Did you ever see that game I played, Mr. Tomato? Any of you guys?
Never again. Stop.
I want broccoli. Feed me tacos.
I
No.
remember now.
The world's most terrifying, horrible, drawn in MS Paint game ever made. Huh.
Show me.
Moving on. With an 11 for your investigation, you check the wardrobe. You open it up. There is. You see. Just kind of what you would expect. These clothes, a lot of different nightgowns. Some of these very opulent-looking. Kind of vests and garments and jackets that you had seen the Baron wear previously. All manner, way too many shoes at the bottom of the wardrobe. Just all manner of different types of boots and shoes. Nothing really out of the ordinary from what you see. You check the dresser. More of the same, kind of just random clothes. You see the undergarments, the Baron's undergarments. Ooh. You immediately close that drawer and look at the rest of the drawer. You don't see anything. You do open, however, a jewelry box that stands on the dresser and find two very nice looking rings. One of them seems to be very kind of it's a golden ring with some kind of opulent, very nice carvings etched into them, and another one that's silver, little less nice looking. It just seems to be a silver ring.
Not like a wedding band, right?
No, well, you're not exactly sure what the ring is for. It just seems to be a silver ring, very simple designed.
Yeah, I'll take them.
Okay, you take their two rings. So, mark
I'm gonna show
silver ring and carved golden ring in your inventory.
I'm gonna show Thixora the carved one to see if there's anything magical about it.
Okay.
Do we have 10 minutes?
It's up to you guys. Do you guys have 10 minutes?
Yeah, we can wait, I guess.
I
Okay.
am going to identify the ring thing.
Using a ritual or are you using a spell slot?
Using ritual.
Okay.
That's why I asked if we have 10 minutes.
So it's up to you guys.
Thuxora is just gonna sit on the bed with the ring and start identifying it.
Okay, so you're gonna spend 10 minutes identifying the ring?
Yep.
Okay.
And she gestures to the others to look behind the door.
Okay, you... yeah, while she does that, you guys gonna check the door?
Yep. Gwen's gonna go first with it. Just gently peek through it.
Okay, you open up the door to reveal a hellhound staring back. No, it's just it's just a closet.
Oh.
You open the door to see kind of more clothes. This seems to be more made for the Baroness than Vargas himself. You see all sorts of dresses, more shoes, way more shoes than was in even the wardrobe, just in a massive amounts of shoes. All sorts of clothing items, hats, dresses. Even there seems to be like a shelf to your right, which seems to have a large like tea set on it. Just anything and everything you could desire to want to be as posh as possible for some sort of like afternoon tea and stuff like that. It's a very very nice dressing room.
Do you want to play dress up? Crowley?
Yeah, why not?
Sweet.
While we're waiting, we're
Oh,
just
no.
trying on different shit.
Okay, you
Yep.
guys are trying on different outfits. Irena's kind of looking around the room and peeking out from behind the curtains and looks back at you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
And just sees
Same.
sees Crowley in a dress.
Does this dress
Yep.
make my ass look too big?
It does, and it's great.
It looks fantastic on you. She
Hell
like
yeah.
pretends to like be inspecting outside the window again.
Try the pink one. Gwen just shoves it onto him, and then tries to find accessories.
I might actually keep one of these for a disguise.
Do it.
Can I shove the pink dress into my backpack?
Okay, yep, you can shove a pink. You see like this kind of it's a very this muted pink, very stylish dress with huge like the puffy sleeves and kind of this long flowing bottom to it. It looks a little childish, but yeah, you can keep it.
Perfect disguise for thievery.
Yeah, okay, now you have frilly pink dress in your inventory. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, Thuxora is just sitting there on the bed mumbling stuff in gift to the ring.
Which you've established is German.
Yes, what are you saying?
That's a good question. Probably something along the lines of du verdammtes Kackding, sag mir endlich, ob du magisch bist oder nicht.
Yeah, same.
I think, of course, those are the magical words you would say. The the best yes, with that final incantation, you are enlightened as to the aspects of this ring, which turns out isn't magical at all in any way, shape, or form. It's just very nice looking. You do, while you're identifying it and inspecting it, you do make note of the engravings that are on this ring, and someone went to painstaking effort to carve some kind of scenery into this ring. It seems to be a picture of several humanoid figures. You can't really make out because the ring is just so small, standing around a what could be like a stone or an obelisk of some sort. You're not entirely sure. And it has a very clear picture on it, a very clear symbol of what seems to be some kind of skull of some sort. Some very. It's not very well defined because the ring is so small, but it is kind of the outline of what you would assume like a skull shape to be. Seems to be carved into this rock. Other than that, you can't make out a whole lot of details about it. It seems to be very old as well. And using your background feat, the appraiser ability, you can tell this ring is probably. You see the fading varnish on it is probably several centuries old.
Ooh. Scroll.
And it would be worth about 100 gold.
Okay, cool. That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, that's the. If you can get somebody to buy it for 100 gold, it would be worth that.
Well, charisma. Here we
Strahd's
go.
rich.
Yeah, oh my god, look at this. This is odd. Do you think it looks good on me? I will buy it right now.
What if Crowley uses it and just proposes to Strahd as a distraction?
That's where the pink dress comes in handy.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe the key is to just distract him from Irina using. Maybe he just hasn't met the right person.
Oh boy. So Thuxora basically, after she's done with it, stands up and walks over to the others just to see Crowley in the pink frilly dress and is just like, okay, I'm not gonna judge. It basically just turns around and looks around in the bedroom awkwardly.
Yeah, Irina looks back at her and just shrugs her shoulders.
So by the way, guys, once you're done playing in the closet, even though I guess Crowley is now out of the closet, has any of you seen any way to get to the attic of this building?
Oh, there's some stairs.
You have not seen any kind of stairs or anything that would lead to any kind of attic.
Is there any hedges in the ceiling?
Make a perception check.
Poopy.
Bird stats, don't fail me.
I rolled a 10.
Same.
I got a net 20, which
Nice.
makes for a total perception of 28.
Holy shit. So the rest of you are kind of looking around and trying on dresses. Thurxora, after examining this ring and identifying some interesting features about it, looks at you all in the closet, also trying on dresses, and like looks around for a minute, kind of examining the ceiling, looking for any kind of strange, out of place things, and you do notice it very faintly. A small string attached to a kind of out of place looking chunk of wood in the ceiling. The string is kind of laid to the side and attached to the wall, kind of by a pin. It seems to be some sort of pull cord.
Alright, am I pulling it? I'm the tallest.
Thuxora is just gonna mage hand pull it.
Thank God.
You take the string away. You kind of unravel it off its pin. It was kind of wrapped around the pin a little bit, and you take it off and pull down on it. And the board comes loose. And in a strange sort of... It doesn't seem to be mechanical in any way. There is a very smooth, kind of light transition as the board slowly opens, and a set of stairs just seems to unfold in an unnaturally smooth manner, like it was almost being influenced by magic of some sort. And it kind of just... And you see a very thin set of wooden stairs land at the front of the closet, leading up into what seems to be a very dark and dusty room above you.
Well, here we go. Who wants to go
Crowley
first?
had taken the dress off and stuffed it in his bag, and he's like, I guess I'll go. I'm gonna stealth up, just in case.
Okay, roll a stealth check. Roku 25 ones went from one funny American to another. Who? Where?
25.
Who's that? 25, damn.
Stealth.
Okay, you guys just watch Crowley just kind of like ninja his way up these stairs. Just kind of doesn't even use them as stairs, kind of just grabs one like a ladder almost, rung of the ladder, and just kind of just... You just see him disappear into the darkness. Crowley, you go up the stairs, and it is dark. You can't really see anything. It is pretty dark and musty, and there's not a whole lot of light up here.
Crowley,
Yeah,
can you see anything?
not at all.
That's not good.
Do we have a glowy skull? Shit.
Thuxora pulls the skull that she carries with her for this exact occasion out of her bag, and the one that
The
she stole from
glowing
the Wagner
skull.
basement. Yeah, I mean, if you remember, we took one of the skeletons of the wolf guard in the Wagner's basement for exactly this purpose.
Yep.
And she pulls it out of her pocket and makes it glowy and makes it float up to Crowley, being like, I want that back once you're done there.
I have the perfect tool for
Alright,
this
thanks.
situation. Just pulls out a skull. Shiny
Crowley-
skull.
And Crowley's gonna have his hand on his blade as he like slowly creeps around with the skull to
Okay.
try and see if he can see anything.
You, as the interior of this attic space gets lit up, you see what seems to be a decent amount of dust and cobwebs, and you kind of have to just a muted cough as silently as possible because you rolled insanely high on your stealth. But you kind of have to cover your mouth a little bit because of how dusty it is up here.
Quick question, Waffles. Is there any map for the attic?
There is, and I will
Ooh.
reveal it in a second.
Oh.
I just gotta dooba-dooba-doo. Make sure I'm revealing the right place. Okay. There. Nope. That's no. Give me a second. Roll 20 is deciding to be a poop head again. Sometimes roll 20 is like, no, you don't get to reveal nothing. All right. We can go up here. Yes, we'll put Crowley up there. You see the trapdoor right there. The attic. It's a kind of a very dusty, maybe like 20 foot room, 20 foot square. Really, the ceiling starts out low and gets high, kind of like you would expect of an attic room. But you do see, strangely, an old table with a lantern on it. It's kind of also covered a little bit in cobwebs. And a door to the south. Kind of old. Cracked a little bit.
Alright. He's gonna go back to the hole and just poke his head down and inform them of what he saw.
Okay. Yeah, you hear Crowley kind of give you a description of the room.
Do you want me to push ahead, or do you want to come up with?
I'm coming.
Can the monsters of this place get out to murder people, or are they stuck there too? Nobody knows. You guys don't know what everyone's capable of. Who knows? Maybe they can, maybe they can't. You guys did see werewolves before you came into Barovia. I have night vision. Yeah, Crowley's human, one of the only races that doesn't have night vision in this game.
Thuxora doesn't have night vision either.
That's true. You guys are all characters without night vision. That's so rare in Dungeons and Dragons. Everybody always has night vision. Yeah, that's why we got Glowy Skull. Glowy Skull's too powerful.
Alright.
Irina also follows you guys.
Gonna approach. I don't know, should she, or is she gonna break every stair on the way up?
Oh, are you guys all stealthing too? Roll stealth checks if you guys are stealthing.
Irina will be stealthy, don't worry, guys.
Or do you want her to stay down there? If you calling out to Irina, being like, "Listen, don't break any more railings."
Do you want me to go back down? I got 4. Do you want me to go back down?
You're already up here.
Okay, Irina rolled the 15.
She can stay this time.
You can't. She rolled good. She can stay. All right. So, Thurxor, what did you roll?
15.
15. Okay. You all managed to climb up relatively smoothly without making a whole lot of noise. Gwyn kind of almost falls for a second, but Thurxora, you manage to like catch her real fast and grab her hand and pull her up.
My hero.
Considering the weight difference, Thurxora can be very happy that she didn't get dragged down the stairs.
Just
Because
pulls her
she is
down.
she is not strong enough to hold Gwyn in her heavy armor.
Gwyn helped out a little bit.
Wait, it's water weight.
This water weight.
Too much salt. She's retaining water.
You guys all managed to get into the attic with relatively little sound. You think you weren't hurt.
And now Crowley's just gonna kick the door. Okay.
Knock, knock.
He's gonna walk up to the door and see if the knob is open. Like if he can. Is there a knob or is it just a wood plank?
It is. Yes, there's a knob to the door. It's kind of old, rusty a little bit. You kind of turn it very quietly and pull it open. You're very cautious about the creaking because you rolled an insane 28 on your stealth. You make sure that it doesn't creak or squeak too much. And it opens to reveal
A wacky wavy arm inflatable tube man?
Yeah, a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man is just waiting for you on the other side of this door. Hi, it's me.
See, that's what you should have made the dress do when we scared what's his face, the Baron.
Made it do a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Hmm.
You see a wacky waving. No, you see a large attic full of old, forgotten, like just what you would think an attic would be full of. Just junk draped in white sheets, barrels, crates, trunks, old furnishings, all sorts of just random knickknacks and things like that.
Random knickknacks and paddywhacks.
Yeah, knickknacks, paddywhacks, dog bones, just all sorts of things like draped in sheets, furniture, bear rugs.
Old man just went go to roll them down the stairs.
Thurxora is going to get a little bit of PTSD from the haunted house and looks over to the hedge in the floor if there's suddenly swinging plates.
Suddenly, the trapdoor opens up its toothy maw and... No. Nope, it just seems to be an attic. Cobwebs, dust kind of litters the place. You do know with your passive perception, just looking, you can see kind of an odd path has been made through this strange assortment of furniture and tables. Everything's kind of been pushed aside just to make this path through the area to another door you see in the back, kind of lit up by your glowing skull that you can't really see it from where you're at that well.
Crowley's just gonna push forward, keeping his eye out.
Okay, make a perception check as you look around the area.
16.
16. You don't see anything that immediately looks threatening or, there's no pieces of armor that might attack you, a la the first the first house you guys went into in the game.
Which
You
Crowley never was in.
you do see several mannequins throughout the area that kind of
Fuck.
are blank faced. None of them, they all seem to be naked, no clothes on them, just wooden mannequins, just arms, not T posing, but just down by their sides. Other than that, you see a few old paintings that hadn't been put downstairs. Some beautiful portraits of some landscapes. A picture of a strange man, kind of very gaunt, with graying, kind of messy hair that you don't recognize, dressed in very nice clothing. And a few, antique, you see a set of like fire pokers and what seems to be some kind of fancy urn of some sort. Other than that, it all just seems to be junk. As you approach the door, though, you do see that there is a large skull carved into it. It doesn't look like that symbol that you've been seeing, the symbol on the book and on Mr. Happy dressed in white man.
Does it look like the one on the ring?
No, the one on the ring looks like the one from that you had seen before, the one that you had seen on the book. This skull
Does it
just
look
looks
like
like
the glowing-
somebody carved it in. It was just like just drew a skull, and underneath it is a wooden sign that reads "All is not well," in very large, bold letters, just hastily scrawled onto it.
Well,
And
Of course, it's not a well. It's an attic.
from your perception check, you kind of, as you approach the door, you hear a very muffled some man's voice from beyond the door.
Crowley, do you want to go in or do you want to keep staring at it?
Do you want to put your dress on first? Might break the tension.
It's restricting, otherwise I would.
Damn it.
I don't want it to rip. I may need it for something later.
True.
Thank you for the hydrate, Chandler. Oh yeah, we should bring Irina over too, huh?
Yeah. Gwen just readies her.
Should we knock?
Hello.
Let's just go in.
Housekeeping.
All right. Is there a knob on this one too?
Yes, there's a knob on the door. Still kind of old
mean,
and
we-
rusty.
We could camouflage Crowley as the housekeeping, even though we probably have a better chance of success if we do that with Irina. But, yeah.
It's fine.
I can help if you would like.
No. It's all right.
She kind of draws her blade as well, just in case.
And Crowley's gonna slowly open the door if the door's unlocked.
You go to open the door, and as soon as you touch it, a pain shoots through you that you have never felt before. You're going to take 5d8 lightning damage. Just give me a
Why
second.
me?
Because you opened the
You didn't put on
door.
the dress. You didn't put on the dress.
I always get.
Should have put on the dress, man.
Yes, that would have protected me.
Yeah.
I
I
should have
should have
just
just
kicked the
mage
door
handed
in.
it.
I should have just kicked the door in.
You're
Well, then
going
you
to
would have taken the
take.
lightning damage into your foot.
You're gonna take 25 lightning damage from a glyph of warding that had been placed on this door. As soon as Crowley touches it, you just see this arc of electricity shoot from a rune that suddenly shows up and appears on the front of this skull. It shines brightly. You guys kind of have to like shield your eyes, and Crowley, the pain just shoots through you, and you are drawn to your knees. Are you still alive?
I would imagine he just. Yes,
What-
I'm still alive.
What is
I have
your
13
HP? Okay, okay.
I would
It is
imagine he
enough
just
to
collapsed
bring
on his
you
back
down.
and just.
Crowley, are you okay?
Ouch!
Just like the cartoon
Oh.
frizzed hair and like smoke
Yes, his
rising.
hair is 100% frizzed right now.
like a burglar from Home
Kinda
Alone.
shaking. That's the exact scene in my head.
Macaulay
Is
Culkin's
Marv
behind the
holding on to
door.
When Marv grabs onto the sink and
Yeah.
just gets electrocuted, that's the exact same
Yeah,
scene
you
in my
guys
head.
could have sworn you briefly saw Crowley's skeleton in outline.
I'm just on my back, kind of crumpled, twitching a little.
After this, the rune suddenly just kind of fades, and the door goes back to being a normal door with a skull on it.
Okay. Note to self, touching doors with skulls on them is not a good idea. Crowley, are you alive?
Poke,
I
poke.
think so.
Okay, good.
Or I'm in hell, I can't tell.
Probably both.
Why not both?
Okay, Gwen, can you help me drag him away from the door?
Yeah. Come on, buddy. Gwen just picks him up.
You
Just
you
onto the barrel.
drag Crowley's smoking semi-corpse away from the door. In
Why am I
Still-
hungry now?
Still a little bit twitching.
yeah, it
my
smells. It
muscles are
smells
just
kind of like
spasming.
barbecue in here all of a sudden. Like
Yeah.
it's a delicious
Kinda hungry.
smoked smell in here.
Yes.
It probably smells like smoked salmon since he's been out on sea for so many years.
Yeah, and you guys all suddenly realize how long it's been since you've had a delicious smoked meal. Since you've been here in Barovia. It's all just been kind of the
Probably
best
starts
meal you
gnawing on
had
his
was
arm.
the one Strahd gave you.
That fuck.
He's got all the good stuff.
Okay, Thuxora is going to step up to the door and she is going, while the others take care of Crowley, to ritual cast Identify on the door.
Okay.
Actually, wait, before I do that, let me actually. No, she's not gonna ritual cast Identify on the door because for Identify she has to touch it and she doesn't want to touch it.
You have to gently touch it. Ah!
What she's gonna do instead is she is trying to use her mage hand from a safe distance somewhere behind Arena
Okay.
to attempt to open the door.
Okay. Your mage hand grabs onto the door handle, and you tense for a second, waiting for some kind of trigger. But nothing happens. You turn on the door handle, and open the door ever so slightly. It seems to open without any kind of explosions or anything like that.
Okay. And then she's then gonna move closer to it again to see on the other side.
Okay.
Gwen's gonna be very closely behind.
Okay, what's Crowley doing? Is Crowley just smoking on a
He's
lying on an old couch
he's
somewhere?
getting himself back up,
Okay.
shaking it off.
Irina is also following behind you, very wary, blade drawn, kind of peering behind over Gwyn's shoulder. Or actually, she can't reach over Gwyn's shoulder, so she's peering from beside Gwyn.
Yes.
As you
so
look
did he.
inside, and your glowing skull kind of reveals the interior of this area, I will reveal it on the reveal-o-matic. If Roll20 would let me. That would be fantastic. Sort of here. I'll just reveal the whole thing since you guys have pretty much explored this whole area.
There's windows.
There's windows. And you see that someone has taken all the strange, old, mismatched, nasty furniture and created some sort of study in this like very dusty chamber that's kind of just lit by a single lamp on the desk. Tables are just strewn with pieces of like parchment and dusty scrolls unfurled on the desk. You see a kind of strange, you're not exactly sure what it is, some kind of diagram of some sort. It's too hard to make out from where you're at. You see a dusty rug kind of shoved into the corner of one of the rooms. But that's not what really catches your attention. What really catches your attention is the skeleton of a cat resting on top of the rug. All bones, no flesh. And as you look at it, you see the skull kind of turn towards you, and you almost hear like a creaking, clacking noise as the skeletal tail of this creature kind of swishes back and forth for a second. And it
Okay,
just...
for a second I thought about using it as my new glowy skull, but I think that might not be the best idea.
I mean, you could. You can light it up. It could be a very shiny skeletal cat.
I somehow get the feeling that it might not like that.
And in the darker corners of the room, you look around and you see more of them. All skeletons. Just kind of peering back at you. Their tails swishing in different cat-like poses. Just no sign of like real aggression right away or anything like that. Just kind of watching you. The most unnerving sight, though, isn't that? As weird as that is, you see 3 small children standing their backs to you in the northeast corner of the room, making no note of your approach. They're kind of just Blair Witching in the corner. They're kind of just staring at the corner. No movement whatsoever.
Okay, guys, I gotta admit this is a tiny little bit creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you cannot pinpoint the source of the voice you heard earlier. You have no idea. Maybe it was one of the children.
Or one of the cats. How good are you guys with cats?
I mean, I have that tame animal thing, but
Hey, Crowley, you already smell like baked fish. Maybe they'll like it.
mm,
Good call.
You
good
smell
call,
like
good call.
fried fish.
As you guys are kind of talking, you do hear a strange sort of meow come from one of the skeletal cats. It doesn't sound like a normal cat meow, though. It's kind of reverberating and echoing the sound of something. Something.
ghost cat.
Ghost cat noises. It sounds ethereal.
Scaly cat, scaly cat.
Scaly cat.
Um,
What do you do? The door suddenly shocks you again. No. You guys just explode in random lightning.
I guess I'll cast Animal Friendship and see if I can get one of them to come to me.
Oh, you know what I could have done? I could have done this. I could have done. I could have done a cool, awesome lightning noise as you exploded into a charred mess. Damn, missed opportunity. Are you gonna try? So you want to use your animal charm on one of the cats?
Mm-hmm.
Your speak to animals.
Yeah, the intelligence is 4 or higher, though it fails.
If it's 4 or you mean 4 or lower?
No, if their intelligence is 4 or higher,
Oh, interesting.
they
Let
can't be too
me.
smart for me to.
They can't be too smart for you to talk to them.
Yeah,
Not
which
too smart for me to
is my
converse.
fear since it's a cat.
Cats are pretty smart. Its intelligence is not 4 or higher. It's literally just almost there. But
Okay.
it is not.
It has to do Wisdom saving throw. It says attack / save is 14. Wisdom 14.
For speak to animals? Wait, it has a saving throw? Wait, hold on. Let me.
Oh no, he's casting animal friendship.
Oh, you're casting. Oh, I thought you were talking. You're casting speak to
No.
animals. Oh, you're casting animal friendship. Oh, okay. Let me just. What's the saving throw, DC?
14.
Nope, it failed.
Okay. So he's gonna try and get it to come to him.
Okay. You see the strange skeletal cat that's on the rug kind of stand up using its very creaky joints, and you just kind of hear like this creaking noise as it slowly moves towards you. And the cat kind of begins to rub its ribs on your side, like like cats will they'll rub up against your leg.
Mm-hmm.
Except for there's no fur; it's just bones.
Well, I hate to say it like this, but I think this cat needs some oil.
I'm gonna hand it. I mean, I don't know if it'll actually eat, but as a sign of good faith, I'm gonna hand it one of the crows, burned crows that I grabbed running from
What are the
what's his
roasted
face?
crows?
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I grabbed 3 of
You
them
grabbed a
on the
toasted
run.
crow. Okay, you
You never know when you'll need it.
show the cat this dead bird that was hit by lightning. There's a lot of lightning going on up in here. You show the cat the dead lightning bird, and the skeletal cat kind of just paws at it for a moment. Kind of just sees the feathers as they kind of fall out from the bird as you present it, and begins to just paw at it, and then tries to take it from your hand.
He'll just play with the cat a little bit, with the bird, like making it dance around.
Okay. It does it
Crowley?
grabs the bird, and it does that cat thing where it like takes its rear paws and starts to like try and smack the bird with its hind legs.
No, I'll let him have it then.
Crowley, do you by any chance also have something for, children?
He grabs one of the other birds.
Wow.
Here you go, small child.
You'll be like
I don't know.
like what's his
Dumb
name?
and Dumber?
Like Dumb and Dumber. Yeah, the blind kid in Dumb
Pretty
and Dumber.
bird.
Pretty bird. Lloyd, you gave our dead bird to a blind kid?
I can give maybe one of the creepy ass dolls that looks like Irina. Because I took a couple of those.
We literally have a full room of them now.
Oh yeah. We can make this our home base. But I'm gonna give one of the dolls I took with me
Okay.
and try and show it to the kids.
You step into the room, and it's kind of awkward as all the skeletal cats, seem to be staring at you and shaking their tails back and forth, just watching you from the safety of their perches in various parts throughout this room. You kind of look about and begin to approach the children. And as you get closer, you notice something odd about them. They seem to be... You see kind of cracks in the joints of their arms and shoulders and necks and heads.
Great mannequin children.
They seem to be very intricately designed mannequins made to look like children. Very well done.
Fucking Pinocchio over here.
Yeah, it's straight up just Pinocchio children, and you kind of, as you get closer, you see that they're definitely mannequins or puppets or something of some sort. Which is, I mean, for mannequins, they have like their legs, they have joints and everything. They're pretty well designed. Anybody like from a distance would actually mistake them as a child.
Shit.
What?
Hold on, actually, let me roll a dice. Drixora, what's your passive perception?
Passive perception, if I'm not mistaken, is 18.
Whew, just barely. Drixora, as you watch Crowley go into this room, the rest of you don't catch it. But, Therxora, you hear a creak coming from one of the corners of the room, the southern corner of the room where there is no cats. just this. And just briefly, as you look over there, you see a shift of one of the strange implements on the table.
You mean this table down here?
Yes, this table, which you look a little closer, and as you inspect the table and look at it, you see bones, cat bones, just strewn about on this table. And sorts of, you see a pair of, like, tongs and some gloves and some books that are shut and you can't really make out from where you're at.
Thurxora is going to use her mage hand to fish one of the books out of the room.
Okay.
What she assumes is safety. To have a closer look at the book.
Okay. Crowley, while you're investigating and you see these not ghost children, the mannequin children, you see a book suddenly to your right begin floating back towards the door. Just picked up and starts floating backwards as Thurxora manages to pick up one of the books that were on the table. As it gets closer and you grab it, Thurxora, you look at it and it seems to be a spell book of some sort, but you can't actually roll Arcana for me.
Arcana, okay. That's one where I actually have to look at my... A 20.
20. It does seem to be like
That's so bullshit.
you examine this book for a moment and look inside the pages, and you see what looks to be some sort of... You can't make out the language. What are the languages you know?
I know Common, Gith, and Primordial.
Okay. You can't make out the language, but it does seem to be something... You see lots of different kinds of sigils that you recognize in a few different types of spells. And kind of the layout of the book does seem similar to spell books that you have seen before. It does seem to be a spell book, though you cannot read it.
Are they similar to the ones on the mirror?
They're not exactly similar. No, it's different. It's different to what you had seen on the mirror before.
Okay. Well, Thurxora is going to take that spellbook and put it into her bag.
Okay.
And use
Take
that
the
there were
book,
more
and you've
books
got a book of random spellage.
and equipment.
Just make sure you label it Book of Random Spellage.
Book of random spellage.
Perfect.
Note stolen from the Burger Master's
The Burgermeister's mansion.
mansion.
Alright, I guess I better do it. I'm gonna take out my belaying pin.
Okay.
And just use it to kind of poke one of the mannequins just lightly and be like, "Hey,
Okay.
are you there?
You see...
I have a toy for you."
You see, the rest of you are kind of like watching inside, and you see Crowley kind of take out his belaying pin from a ship and just poke one of the children, which you guys don't notice that they're mannequins. You just see Crowley take out a pin and like begin to poke one of these children. And the Crowley, you see the mannequin kind of tilts forward for a second. And then just like rocks back and forth as you poke it. does not seem to respond to your call out or your poke. He kind of just shakes. And you guys see this, and you notice how weird it is that the child is just rocking back and forth for a second.
Crowley,
He's
what
gonna
are you
walk
doing
back. They're mannequins.
Oh, Thuxora is going
Oh.
to step away from Crowley before he crosses the door, just to make sure that he's not getting
All of a
hit by
sudden,
any
Crowley,
web
you
stuff.
take. No, you're good. You you don't explode as you approach the door. No more lightning.
Okay. Well, considering that Crowley seemed to make it outside in one piece, Thuxora is now going to make her way inside to inspect some more stuff more closely. For example, the chest down here.
Yes. Okay.
Are these windows boarded up, or they just curtains or something?
The windows are just curtained. In fact, one of these windows you recognize as probably one of the windows you had seen somebody peeking out when you were investigating the Burgomaster's mansion before. You had seen somebody briefly peeking out from one of the windows.
Okay, and it's still daytime, right? Because we did get up and walk there.
It's
I mean,
about
I
as
know.
daytime as it gets in Barovia. Yes,
Is
is
it
still
bright
light
enough
out.
that if I open the curtains, it'll let light in?
Yes, it'll let the very muted gray light that kind of makes up most of Barovia in.
Okay, I'm gonna
Still
do
kind
it
of
for
foggy a little bit.
both
Right.
sides.
You let the light in, and it highlights a little bit of the dust and the cobwebs and the weird skeletal cats that are watching you throughout this room. And you kind of turn back towards this desk, and you do see it's some kind of weird spell diagram of some sort. There's some weird glyph markings on the unfurled piece of parchment on this table. Thuxora, as you go and examine this chest, you were suddenly hit by a no. The chest does open.
I'll be very careful and only do everything with Mage Hand.
No, here, let me do
Okay.
it, and I can poison myself again.
Let me just look at what is in the chest because I think it. Okay. You open the chest and look inside, and what seems to be nothing too extravagant. You see bolts of silk cloth, some needles and thread and stitching implements, and a half-finished wizard's robe. Kind of very fancy and shiny looking, but still you can see like a needle and thread laying next to it as if it was uncompleted, with unfinished parts to it. Just lying in this chest. You also see like bits and pieces of fabric and cloth that are very similar to what the children are wearing in the corner.
Okay, this is interesting. Crowley, I have more clothes for you to try on.
Yes.
Oh no. Oh no. Just Gwyn silently. Yes.
I want to watch this. I'm here.
What you got?
Well, Thuxora lifts up the half-done wizard's robe.
Okay. It looks like it was half done. It was very unfinished. The bottom part, the sleeves, are pretty much done, and you see kind of like this hood, and it's all done in this strange, bluish, very kind of shiny fabric. You're not sure exactly what it is, but you do notice that the lower half of the robe is just completely unfinished. There's no lower half. It's just As you lift it up, you just see a dangling thread and needle hanging from the bottom part of this robe.
Is
still
it like
unfinished.
vest size?
It's no, it's pretty big. It's pretty like very. It's like when
No,
you
I
think
meant
wizard's
the
robe.
length of the bottom.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That
The
is
length of it
done,
is
is it
it's
like
about
up to
vest
your
size.
waist?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes.
Okay.
It looks like when it's going to be fully complete, it will be the most wizardy wizard's robe you've ever seen. Like, when you think wizard's robe, think like Fantasia, the wizard from Fantasia with the stars on his hat
Yensid.
style robe. Yeah, Yensid. Yeah, whatever the heck is. What's his name?
Yensid.
Yensid. Yeah, it's Yensid style. Like, very just wizardy. Like. You expect somebody with a magic wand to just be like, I cast magic missile. But it's not complete.
Is there anything else in there besides the robe and fabric?
That is it. It is just fabric, sewing implements, and the robe.
No one else wants it?
Does anyone want this? Irina looks at you. You, you feel free.
I love how we like how we're just splitting his stuff as if he was. Oh wait, he is dead.
Carly's gonna take it and rip the sleeves off, and then put it on.
Oh, he has a tank top wizard's robe.
He just wants the hood.
As you rip the sleeves, you the rest of you just hear this loud tearing noise as it just rips the sleeves, and I think all of you. Let me look. I think all of you have high enough passive perception. Yeah, you just hear briefly, but you're not sure where it came from. You just heard a man's
God.
voice briefly for a second.
Like, no, don't.
Crowley, do
High
that
five.
again.
Of.
Okay, and he goes and starts to do the other.
Tears the other sleeve.
This time Thurxora is
Wait,
going
wait.
to listen out for the noise.
Can Gwyn start tickling Crowley?
Why?
You can. Tickle, tickle, tickle.
Tickle, tickle, tickle.
Why? Why?
Just testing. You don't have to rip it to test. I'm just curious. Tickle, tickle.
Oh, if the robe is what screamed, is what you're wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tickle, 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 tickle.
You rip the other sleeve as Gwyn comes over and just randomly begins to tickle the robe.
Tickle, tickle.
Just tickle, tickle, tickle. You hear nothing. The robe doesn't suddenly make noise. No. And
Correct.
Thurxora, as you're listening, make a perception check. Irina will be listening too, actually, because she heard that. She rolled a 2 because she sucks.
I rolled a 17 plus 8 is 25.
Okay. You don't hear the noise anymore, but you do hear kind of like another shuffling noise, and it comes from the same direction you had heard it before.
Which is?
The southeast corner of the room. I'll ping it over here.
Okay. Well, Thurxora is going to move over here with her glowy skull and have a closer look at the point on the desk where she saw the movement before.
Okay. Roll investigation check.
My other stupidly high stat. Oh, for a total of 27.
Jesus Christ! What the
19
heck?
plus 8.
Are you able to roll underneath a 25?
I mean, yes, I am. It's just, well, statistically speaking, 6 out of 10 or 4 out of 10 rolls with my stats in investigation and perception are 20 plus.
Wow, that's insane. Yeah, no, you're investigating this table and you're kind of moving around and looking at this, and you kind of turn and begin to move your glowing skull to like light up the corner of the room where you heard the shuffle, and you suddenly bump into something. You just kind of midair, just and you hear like a
Guys,
Crowley's just gonna drop the robe, pull out both scimitars, and jump over the table.
oh shit! Crowley just springs
Point
into
both.
action.
Point both like
accidentally
at.
steps on a cat. Just tears it into
No, he would be
shreds.
careful. He would be careful of the cats.
Okay. Watching out for the various cats as you kind of make this commotion. The cats do kind of scatter a little bit, and they kind of move towards the other corner of the room, away from you. In general, kind of just the skeletal cats all just watching on, very disturbed / curious. You can't really tell what their expressions are because they're bones, but you assume they're just doing normal cat things. You jump over this table. What are you doing exactly?
He has both scimitars in his hand, like ready to put them up to someone's throat if there is someone
Okay.
standing there.
As you get over the table and unsheath your weapons, you hear a dun, 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 wait, hold on. And right in front of you, Thurxora and Crowley, you guys see someone just apparate out of thin air. A very thin, gaunt young man, maybe in his early 20s. He has this kind of long, flowing black hair, but with this strange, premature graying streak in it almost. He kind of has his hands up, and he's dressed in a very, very nice looking, this brown jacket. Seems to be wearing these kind of round glasses, and very basic looking. Like, you would not expect somebody like this to be hanging out in a opulent manner like this, like a very nice looking manner. It's just very plain clothes, just a brown jacket, rimmed spectacles, and he has his hands up and he's looking at you with like a very nervous expression.
So, who do
Hello.
we have here, if I may ask?
Hi. Would you believe me if I said no one?
No.
And if you lie again, these swords go into your abdomen.
Or you fly through the roof. One of the two. You can pick.
Oh, I
I'll-
push your brain.
Okay.
And yeah, he turns over to you, Gwen, and he sees the very large dragonborn lady who's just staring at him.
Hi. I am Victor. I'm Victor Velakovich. I'm the Baron's son.
Why does he have his son locked in here?
Locked? I'm not locked. I chose to shut myself in here. Could you put those swords away for me? Please?
He like looks at you nervously.
Not yet. Don't trust you yet.
How do we know if he's actually his son?
Well, it does seem to be a little bitch like his father. So if that is his son, it would track.
Yes.
Mm,
Yes, cowardice does run in the Vlakovich family. So,
true.
ergo, I am the son of Vargas Vlakovich. Please don't kill me.
I mean, we have no intention of killing you as long as you are truthful and
that's
not a
good.
threat.
Oh, I thought you were. I thought you were one of the minions that were, causing all the chaos down below, and I thought you were, agents of, well,
I mean, we're
Strahd.
technically the reason why they're here, but we don't belong to them.
Oh, that is such relief.
And he kind of just lets himself, like, just relax for a little bit. And suddenly becomes, like, way more chill. And just,
Crowley will put his swords down, but not away.
okay. And he kind of begins to just walk past you without much, as if you had never had swords next to him in the first place. And he kind of just begins to gain an air of just confidence and just like begins to walk towards his table.
Well, may I inquire as to what you are doing here in the attic of the Burgomaster's mansion? Has my father sent you?
Well, we have to say the ex-burgomaster's mansion.
I'm sorry, I do not follow.
He pissed off Strahd. And now he's dead. My apologies.
Ah. Well.
And he kind of like, you see him drift off into thought for a minute.
I guess. Considering the recent situation, that was not to be unexpected. That is. Well. I'm not sure how it is. Is it fortunate? Is it unfortunate? I don't know. It depends on your perspective, I guess. However, this gives me the freedom that I desired, but on the other hand, I have lost my sole caretaker that.
Well, Victor, answer us a few questions and maybe we can have an eye out for you.
Well, I'm sorry. I wish I could answer your questions, but as you can see, I am in the middle. Well, I was in the middle of a class at the moment.
And he looks towards
Waffles, you said he has long hair.
Yes.
Thuxora is going to use her mage hand to basically grab it in the back of his neck and just pull it down.
You have my attention.
So, maybe you can shed some light on certain things that are going on in here.
Is it about the cats?
About
I
the
trust you.
cats,
I trust
the
me.
books,
They are
what you're doing up here.
completely domesticated. Do not worry about the cats. They are perfectly harmless. Come here, Scuffles.
And he kind of kneels down, and one of the cats like bounds towards him a little bit, and he begins to pet the bony skeletal trace of the cat, and the cat kind of just, you hear this ethereal purr.
Were they dead
So-
already, or did you kill them?
I made them. They were dead before, and now they're not dead. Well, depending on your perspective. I've always had a thing for cats, and I thought I would try something out that I hadn't tried before.
That's quite impressive, Victor. Now,
Thank you.
what are you doing up here?
Well, I'm doing all sorts of things. I'm doing a lot of things up here. As you can see, as you did interrupt, I was teaching a class to my students over here. No, don't worry. No, I will get back to the lesson. Don't you. That's right, you are in timeouts. You will stay there. No, I will not have any interruptions. Yes, you will stay there. Okay.
Thurkstar just makes this slightly skeptical blick over to slightly skeptical face over to Crowley, just being like, "You think he's a little gun?"
Now, as to what I've been doing here, I've been learning all sorts of things. Unfortunately, you do have the book I've been researching, and I would love to show you, but you managed to take it from my items that are
Thurkstar pulls it out
mine.
of her bag and opens it up. So, just out of curiosity, which language is this?
Well, that is a language that... It's the language of... Well, I'm not sure what the language is. I'm gonna be totally honest with you.
But
I
you
have
can
not
read it?
discovered what the language is. Well, I've deciphered a few words. Like, I know that this means circle, and that this means gods. And so I've been trying out a few things that I've kind of been able to parse together from a little bit of... Can I take the book?
She hands it over to him.
He grabs it very, greedily and kind of begins to, he shoves his face into it almost and begins to turn the pages.
Oh, and this one is a great... Well, I learned this one. You want to know why I knew you were here? Well, you managed to touch my electric door. I learned that one from this book. As you can see, it worked
Interesting.
very effectively. Actually, thank you. Thank you for helping me test that one out. I appreciate it. I didn't actually know if it would work or not, but seems like it did.
So, Victor, the last time we
Crowley's-
stopped by, we saw some blue lights from up here. We assume that was you?
Oh, yes. That was most likely me, yes. I was trying out one of the incantations I saw in here.
Crowley is going to go and pick up the robe, continue tearing the sleeves off, and be like, "This is mine now. A gift from you since I humbly tested out your new door." He's just going to put it on.
Very well. I guess I owe you for your services, for helping me develop my craft, my spell craft.
Go ahead, Thixor.
On a
continue.
scale, on a scale of 1 to 10, tell me, how much pain did you feel?
You want to know how much pain I felt?
Yes.
Crowley's just going to clock him in the face.
You move forward and you just, deck him with a punch.
Yep.
Oh yeah. You can almost hear the bones of his gaunt, thin face cracking as you punch him, and he reels backwards for a minute, and he falls onto his butt and scatters across the floor a little bit, and just kind of,
He's going to pick him back up and put him back in the chair. There. Does that answer your question? Sorry, I'm a little bit testy today.
I would put that at an 8.
Yes.
And he like rubs the blood from his nose for a second and just wipes it on his brown jacket, which is now just got a big blood stain on it.
Oh, well. Okay, well, I have to say I have not been hit like that in a very long time, but it did give me a very serviceable amount of information in terms of my
Glad to be of service.
shock door. So thank you very much.
Sora is
You see him
just
like
to
try
show
and
off.
get his wits about him.
She's going to use prestidigitation to get the bloodstain out of his clothes.
Okay, you see him like look at his shirt as you kind of use the hand motions to cast prestidigitation, and the blood does fade. And he looks at you.
Tell me, what do you know of spellcraft?
Quite a bit.
Oh. Do you know what this book says then?
And he kind of hands you over the book and like opens up the pages and begins to show you the different verses and dialogue in it.
I know a few of the symbols, and the basic structures look pretty familiar to what I'm used to, but as to the language and the descriptions, I know about as much as you do.
He looks very disappointed for a second.
But I think if you give me more time with that book, I might be able to decipher more. And I would be more than happy to share that knowledge with you once I gained it. Because, we spellcrafters, on our own, we might be able to do certain things, but in the end, our power is in our cooperation.
Tell me, and he like closes the book and puts it back on the table.
What do you know, if anything, about teleportation?
What would Thurxora know about teleportation?
Roll an Arcana check.
20.
20. You know that there's different kinds of teleportation, and it depends on which kind he's talking about. There's teleportation between planes of existence, and there's teleportation moving around on the plane you are currently at. And you do know about things like a lot of times when people teleport, sometimes they're just shifting planes of existence and then appearing somewhere else after shifting back from that other plane. So there's a lot of different kinds of teleportation.
Well, there's different ways to teleport and different approaches to it. Are you familiar with the concept of the planes of existence?
Oh, I'm very familiar. In fact, I have a theory. I have a theory that we are in a secluded plane of existence right now as we speak. Yes. I've thought about this. The mists are not the mists. People think, oh, the mists are just some sort of just some magical spell, but no, the mists are barriers. The mists is the boundary. It's the boundary to the plane, and we are all stuck here. We can't leave.
Thesis. Because, most teleportation magic, besides some short-range blink abilities, would you be able to know that Githyanki, for example, are able to just blink from one place to another? As that is one of their racial abilities?
He kind of looks at you for a second and kind of examines you for a moment.
Where are you from?
My species comes from a place called Limbo.
Yes, but where are you from?
That is a very good question. I can tell you as much as outside of the mists.
You look like.
And he thinks for a second. And you suddenly see him dive into his desk almost. He begins to open drawers and shuffle through different scrolls and all sorts of books. And he pulls out a specific scroll and looks at it for a second, then looks at you. And he furls it up for a second. And he hands the scroll to you.
Thuxor is going to have a look at it.
You unfurl the scroll, and you see a image. There's no words on the scroll. It is a picture, old, worn, dusty. It looks like it came from it is an extremely old scroll. You are very careful with it as you open it because you notice that the parchment cracks a little almost as you unfurl it. And you see on it a picture of a very large, kind of very magnificent looking structure. It is just drawn with a very basic ink, and you can't really get any, there's not a whole lot of detail to it. It has a giant, it is mostly colored amber. There's a little bit of coloring to it, and it's this large entrance into the side of a cave. Carved on top of it is a giant, like a griffin head, is most I can. I'm trying to think of how to describe it. Like what you imagine a griffin's head would look like, just a giant eagle, but like a lot more regal looking than like even the most regal looking of eagles. Even the most regal eagle, it looks.
It's an eagle with a mane.
Yeah, it's an eagle with a very awesome mane on it, with these huge feathers carved into the top of these huge stone doors. And on either side of it are people dressed in strange outfits. And upon seeing these outfits, Thorxora, your head begins to hurt slightly. And you have to like clutch at your head as you suddenly begin to see images. Strange things that you don't immediately recognize. Of people. Gith, your race, dressed in these long, flowing robes. Black in color, with this sort of silver trim to it. Very well done, well kept hair, pulled back. All of them kind of moving about in this strange structure you don't recognize. And as you kind of see images, you see flashes of strange artifacts that you can't even begin to describe. You see more of these Gith holding books. Briefly, you see one talking to you. And then it all just fades.
Yeah, I can tell you who these are. I cannot tell you where that is, what that is, or what they are doing there, but I can tell you these are Gith.
Can I see it again?
Yeah. She hands it back to him.
He takes the scroll and looks at it. Well, that is unfortunate. I was hoping you would be able to tell me. Your features are very similar to the ones that are on this temple
As a matter
of
of
some sort.
fact, I am almost certain I was there before. I have seen this place, but I cannot remember.
Well, unfortunately, that does not help out my investigations at all. But we'll come back to that.
Well, back to the matter of teleportation.
Yes, back to the matter.
So, there is different ways of teleportation. I would say the most common and best understood way is using the plane shift to change your position inside a single plane. So, whenever you shift plane, you have the ability, if you do it right, to shift the location where you're showing up. So you basically jump from your plane into another plane, and on the jump back, you pick another location to arrive on.
Yes. And do you know how to do this?
I do not.
I've been trying. Let me show you something.
And he kind of moves over to the other corner of the room and begins to he like pushes you guys, everybody who's like standing near the rug,
Move aside, move aside.
and begins to push you guys away from the rug and grabs the edge of the rug and begins to pull it, and unveiling underneath it a very intricately designed circle made of glyphs and carvings and writings. Very what looks to be some sort of spell circle of some sort.
Does this spell circle look familiar to Tharksora? Does she understand it, or
Roll Arcana.
that is an 18?
You recognize this as a teleportation circle. You've seen them in some of the mages, in some mage headquarters that you've been in throughout your travels. It's pretty common in the bigger cities for there at least to be one teleportation circle somewhere. So you kind of recognize it. Although this one does look a little, for lack of a better term, jankier than the fancy ones you're used to seeing. It does look a little bit more homemade.
Ooh, a teleportation circle.
Yes, I'm glad you recognized it. I've been working on it. So far, no luck. I tested it out, though. But, well, the results were, inconclusive.
So what you're saying is it didn't work?
Not quite the way I intended. It did work in some way, though. But I think I've got it down. I've been researching the formula for the past couple days. Weeks? Months? I've been researching the formula, and I have it down now. Yes. I think I've got it. I finally got the formula. Say, would one of you be able to help me test it out? I think, if everything's right, I might be able to get you out of Barovia. Any takers? Anyone at all?
Well, Let's go back to your theory that Borovia is actually a completely secluded plane.
That's why we can't leave, right?
Yes, that's why we can't leave. And is it possible that that messes with the functionality of the teleportation circle? When you try to teleport somebody out of here, do you account for the fact that you might have to shift them to another plane entirely?
Well, at first, here's the thing. At first, no. At first, well, there's a miscalculation. I did not account for that in the circle itself. Still not exactly sure where they are, but I do know they are not here anymore. I did, however, for my second try, I did take that into account. However, I did transport them, but they may not have arrived at their destination entirely intact. There was a bit of a miscalculation on my part. But I have done some research, and I think I have finally figured it out. Yes, to get somebody away from this plane, to at least bring us beyond whatever the mists envelop us in. I think I finally figured it out. I finally cracked it. Anybody want to try?
Why don't we send an object through first and see if that works?
I've tried. The objects just disappear. I don't know what happens to them. I don't have any proof. I don't have any sort of identifier or anything to tell me what happened. I know that they're moving somewhere, but I can't tell where they're moving to. At least if I teleported a living creature, they could come back to me and tell me if it failed. If they don't come back to me, well, I'll just assume it succeeded, right? Or they
Ideally-
got rearranged. One of the two.
Ideally, you should look for a living creature that is stupid enough to come back here, even if it worked.
Well, that may or may not have been what I've been training the cats for. But, they don't usually end up coming back. See, the problem is that they kind of just fall apart once they reach an area outside of my influence. So we're still working on that one a little bit, and God forbid I exit the walls and find another creature. I did try it on... I did ask the servants for help, and, well, that's what led to that before.
Have you tried using it for a very short-range teleportation?
I
One
did.
where the goal or the target is inside your reach, like for example in the other room.
I did try that. But my father wouldn't have it. He is very against me practicing magic in any way, shape, or form after the
Well, your father
fiasco
isn't
with the
here
walkers.
anymore, so
Yes, well, I guess I don't have to worry about that anymore, do I? I've tried it with several different... he won't let me use the servants anymore. The walkers won't visit the house anymore after what happened, and, well, I'm just... We're
may
just
I
out of
ask
options, you know?
What happened with them?
Well, I was trying some new experiments with my, well, trying to make the cats work, and it turns out that in order for the cats to be reanimated, I needed some specific, a specific type of energy requiring a living, well, a living soul. and so I tried it, but it didn't work out quite like I was hoping. The Watchers are not happy with me. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they're not going to be arranging any more marriages anytime soon. Although I still wonder if she's doing okay. She could be fine, maybe. You know, there's a lot. There's a lot you can accomplish as a cat.
Did you
Well-
turn her child into a cat?
I turned her mind into a cat. There's a difference. You still, the body is still fine. So they could still work with that. Essentially, let's be reasonable. The Watchers had always treated their children as if they were pets, anyways, right?
Can we punch him again?
You punch him.
We might need him.
Yeah.
Gwyn just absolutely socks him again, and again he lets out a little as he kind of falls backwards, his nose bleeding profusely once again, kind of stumbles out of his chair and falls onto his butt.
Oh, when Thuxera is gonna have another look at the teleportation circle to see if she can spot any mistakes on it, or if she can assess if it might actually work this time, or if it's just gonna be a very bad idea instead of just a
Okay.
pretty bad idea.
Roll
try it
roll one more Arcana check, sure. As you inspect this circle for its its jankness properties. Slots, hydrate, right. Okay, thank you, Slots. I'm sorry. Yes, we were in the middle of the whole dialogue, and I don't like to interrupt the dialogue and all that stuff. But thank you, Slots, for the raid and the hydrate.
17.
And a nom nom. 17? You are not incredibly well versed in magical teleportation circles. You do notice with that check that it does look different from most teleportation circles you've seen. There's a couple runes that are definitely not drawn the same way you've seen before. But as to whether or not it would work, this is beyond your purview.
Victor, just tell me, where did you learn this from? The teleportation circle?
From the book. And he kind of opens the book and turns it to the page you had seen previously with the markings of the teleportation.
Thuxera is going to grab one of the papers from one of the desks and make a quick sketch of its circle, how she remembers it.
Okay. Hold on. I'm sorry. Let me eat some chips really quick, because Slots did redeem a nom nom. I gotta cram something in my face real fast. I need food.
And Arya, you didn't miss much. We just smacked him more.
He's just on the ground in a ball, and we're just kicking him. Nerd!
He's like pushing his glasses up.
Oh,
No.
Give him a wedgie.
Thuxera is basically going to sketch what she remembers from teleportation circles onto a bit of paper that was laying around. Just like, hands him the bits once she's done. Just like, hey, does this make any sense to you?
And he kind of takes it and looks at it. What did you do exactly?
She basically sketched the things out where she saw the difference to what she's knowing and how she's used to teleportation circles looking.
Okay.
In the hopes that maybe with the discrepancy, he might have a spontaneous input on how to optimize his circle.
Okay. I will say with your Arcana check on investigating teleportation circles before, you know kind of essentially what a few of them look like. You do remember a little bit, but you're not exactly sure what any of the symbols actually mean. You just kind of know what they look like.
Yeah.
And so you just kind of copy
the
a few of the symbols you'd seen.
Yeah, the hope here is that he knows what they mean.
Okay. Let me let's roll a Victor Arcana check. Okay. He takes it and looks at it and kind of. Oh, very interesting. But what does this marking here mean? Oh, but that could mean. Wait a second. And he like moves over towards the circle and begins like scribbling out one of the marks and begins like scratching in a whole entire different one, and then looks back at the paper, and then looks back at something else, and then begins scribbling it out and carving in a whole different other symbol in another area. And he's not saying anything to any of you guys. He's just going at it. Thomas sleepy. Oh yes, we should stop it here. It is 7:30 my time. We've been going about 3 hours or so. So I think this is a good stopping place. Actually, we can stop here, and continue this later. I'm so glad we got to play D&D again. Yeah!
Yay!
After 2
Wait, we're
months.
playing D&D?
I guess.
Waffles.
That's what I'm
Arya
gonna call
actually
it.
made a pretty good point. If we get the circle fixed up next episode,
And then a random person steps through, is like, "Yo, what up?"
Yeah.
That'd be an
Yep.
interesting. Oh yeah, that would be an interesting way for a new character to come in.
or the circle lights up and a random assassin pops in, being like, "Where's Strahd? I have to kill him. I have to free the people of Barovia." And everybody's just like,
Or a
hi?
demon from the abyss is just like, blah, blah, blah.
"Oops, wrong door. Sorry."
Whoopsie.
Accidentally pulls the mirror person into our dimension.
The assassin.
or
yeah.
just suddenly random mind flayer.
I use animal handling.
Blah, blah. You just see a bunch of like random Cthulhu tentacles like start going like. Oh my god. Oh, well, thank you guys for hanging out. I had a blast. I actually was really enjoying just playing D&D again. I'm super glad
Yeah.
that we got to do it again.
And Waffles,
And you guys
have
got to
homework.
meet Victor. Oh, my favorite. Crazy ass Victor.
He's so great, though. You can just nerd out with him.
Oh yeah, he's perfect for me. He's the absolute perfect level of neurotic that I can play very well.
So, was he
By the
set
way-
to marry the Wachter daughter and
You'll have to
turned
ask
her
him.
into a person with a cat brain?
You'll have to figure that
the
one
way-
out.
By the way, Waffles, I can slowly understand what Tama means. I'm also getting triggered by your glasses.
Oh, thank you.
What do you mean? My glasses fit perfectly.
Especially the
Stunning.
shoddy job with the hot glue.
Oh yeah, that was a while ago. Yeah.
Wait, you used hot glue? Are
Long
you
time ago,
fucking
yeah.
Oh my fucking god.
I don't know if you can see it, but like there's
I don't. No.
yeah, there's a
I'm
bad
not looking at you.
I refuse. Yeah, there's
Why have
there's-
you not just gotten it done?
I
I know,
haven't gotten around to
right?
it, and they're perfectly functional. They have not been. They're perfectly good glasses, and I just haven't gotten around to it. They don't fall out or anything. It's just a
Waffles.
little janky looking.
Waffles.
Yeah,
Huh.
because you hot
Don't
glued them back in.
Ever tell me that ever again that they're perfectly good glasses.
They are perfectly
I will
good.
find
They
you.
work fine.
I will find you and I will
I
kill
work
them.
in these glasses every day. Like, I do physical labor, and I have had them for like 3 years. Like this, almost. Pretty much 3 years, I think they've been like this.
I think it's time to put them out to pasture. Waffles.
Yes, I know. I need to go to the I
We'll
need to
have
go
a
get some new glasses.
ceremony. We'll make it nice.
No, we'll burn them.
No,
We'll cremate them.
no,
It
but
won't
I
be
love
nice.
them. They're
It'll
so
be unpleasant.
comfortable.
No.
They're perfect.
We'll do a Vikings funeral.
I
Don't
hate
give Tom a
those.
nightmare.
We'll build them a little boat.
Burn them.
Put them in a blender.
The poor blender.
Okay. Well,
Please.
we're just gonna move away from that topic of conversation. Oh look, it's time to raid somebody. We should go raid somebody. Yes, we should. Who do I raid? Do you guys have any suggestions? Who do we want to raid?
Let me see.
Very
You
important.
should raid an
though.
opticians.
Type in
Just
optician.
live streaming.
Very important, though. We need to remind Waffles under the week to get in contact with Arya and get her backstory.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'm totally down. Yes, we need more players. We need more players.
We'll have to see if we've won Cat Mom over with our stupidity.
Oh yeah, that's right, Cat Mom. You were seeing if
Yes.
Cat Mom wanted to join.
And we need a proper healer because 1d4 plus 2 isn't that much in the grand scale.
Yeah, we're without Botac, you guys might be a little low on the healing
We could-
side.
Path of Exile is a D&D type game, is it not?
Nope.
Or
It's like
inspired by?
it's more Diablo.
Nope.
Oh.
PoE is it's something, but not D&D
It's
inspired.
Very Diablo inspired.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, did you have somebody you wanted to
Because-
raid?
Yeah, one of the Neon Divide people, just Scarlet, is streaming Path of Exile right now.
Ooh.
Okay. Sure. What's their Twitch? Excuse me. Sorry. What's their Twitch name?
Here, hold on. I'll copy paste.
Capipasta.
There you go.
Okay, got you. Just Scarlet. Sweet. All right, we will go raid them then. Yeah, I played a little bit of Path of Exile, but never really played it too much. I tried to get into it, it just never really worked out very well for me. What? Oh. Okay.
Arya, if you want to piss Waffles off a lot, go for a wild magic sorcerer.
There you go. Yeah, you just want to... If you want to ruin everybody's day, just play a wild magic sorcerer and see what happens. You could either win the game immediately, or TPK your party immediately.
And make sure you give yourself the luck trait.
Yeah. What could go wrong? Alright, we're gonna raid Just Scarlet then. Thank you guys for hanging out. I had a good time. Thank you. I'm so happy we got to play D&D again. Yeah! Super awesome. Hopefully we get to play next Monday and we have more players. You get some sleep, Tama.
I will when you fix your glasses.
Well, looks like you're never sleeping again. Fine, we'll just okay, I'll fix my damn glasses. Okay.
Goodbye,
Here, Waffles,
everybody.
Waffles, here you go, just for you. Fix your glasses, 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 fix your
Okay, we're
glasses,
raiding! We're raiding!
fix your glasses, fix your glasses, fix your glasses.